Good morning, comrades. I am deeply honored to stand before you today. To each of you who have traveled from far and wide to join us here in Ouagadougou, to support us, to honor us, and to share in this critical moment, I extend my heartfelt gratitude. This gathering is not simply a ceremonial occasion, it is a call to reflection, to action, and to unity. And yet, I can see in your presence that you have come prepared, willing to contribute to the success of this event, and for that, I thank you profoundly. The university we have organized here represents but a small portion of the vision we carry for Africa. True transformation, real progress, begins with the awakening of consciousness through knowledge and education. Only when our people are informed, aware, and inspired can we hope to sustain our revolutions, to reshape our societies, and to change the face of our continent. Today, you have shared your knowledge and your experience with our brothers and sisters in Burkina Faso, but your impact resonates across Africa and even beyond. Through digital platforms, barriers that once separated us have fallen. The imperialist voices that dominated radio and television no longer have a monopoly over communication. Today, truth, solidarity, and revolutionary ideals can traverse borders freely thanks to technology and commitment. Thank you for being here, for your encouragement, for your dedication. I thank you 1,000 times over, because the struggle we fight is not abstract. It is a fight for the liberation, dignity, and future of our people. We must understand that the world order we face is stark and uncompromising. There are only two camps, those who oppress and those who are oppressed. Neutrality is not an option. Those who claim it either fail to understand the stakes or have allowed their minds to be turned off. We must say this plainly: there is no middle ground. As revolutionaries, we stand for all peoples. Our solidarity does not recognize borders or continents. The struggle of one oppressed people is the struggle of all. That is why many from Europe, America, and beyond have come to stand with us. They understand that freedom, dignity, development, and unity are universal aspirations, binding us across the globe. Comrades, history has tried to silence the voice of those who dared to dream of liberation. Thomas Sankara was assassinated on the 15th of October 1987, and with him, they believed they could erase his ideas. They attempted to destroy his archives, to rewrite history, to eliminate the memory of his vision. But his spirit endures. Thanks to the courage of those who preserved his work, his legacy remains alive. His flesh may have left us, but his ideals continue to shape our world. Today, too many African leaders hide behind a superficial democracy modeled after those who seek to dominate us. They mimic their imperialist masters while the very foundations of democracy worldwide are under strain, in decline. We must craft our own African model, one rooted in our culture, our history, and our vision for self-determination. Thomas Sankara reminded us that true freedom and dignity come from living authentically African, embracing our values and identity. If we forget our history, our youth will never understand the world or the logic of revolution. It is our duty to educate, to guide, to illuminate the path forward. Everywhere, our continent suffers from division and manipulation. Wars tear our countries apart, orchestrated by those who profit from our fragmentation. They exploit our resources while our people perish. But the truth must be told, awareness must spread, and revolution must ignite. Even when faced with skepticism or those who say we speak too much, we must persist. I have learned this from leaders like Hugo Chavez, who spoke every day to ensure the message of justice reached his people and resisted imperialism. Speaking is not a choice, it is a responsibility. I have witnessed the impact of intervention firsthand. Recently, I visited a young woman whose efforts to transform local cotton into medical-grade cotton were stifled. Her factory had been dismantled, her machines stored away, we supported her, and today her enterprise thrives once more. This is a tangible example of what Africa can achieve when initiative, courage, and solidarity are supported. We must cultivate this spirit across the continent. Produce locally, transform locally, consume locally, and innovate relentlessly. Change of mindset is the cornerstone of revolution. The entrenched bourgeoisie oppresses and collaborates with imperialism to maintain control. They propagate stagnation, driving our youth to risk their lives seeking a false promise abroad. We cannot allow this. Africa must be the land of opportunity for its children. Our revolution is not abstract, it is concrete, strategic, and deeply necessary. We must resist imperialist maneuvers, dismantle the institutions designed to perpetuate our subjugation, and reclaim our sovereignty. Wars, conflicts, and divisions have weakened us, but they also underscore the urgency of our mission. We must educate minds, awaken consciences, and act decisively. Every young African must understand the stakes, the history, and the possibilities of a united and empowered continent. In this spirit, we have created the Institute of Black Peoples, an initiative aimed at equipping our youth with knowledge, tools, and ideology. We encourage participation, dialogue, and learning, both in person and via digital platforms. Africa's future depends on youth who understand their responsibilities, their history, and their power to shape a better tomorrow. A revolutionary loves all people. Politics may divide, but revolution unites. Our task is to bring unity, not division, to guide leaders toward approaches that serve the continent rather than outside interests. Even as we engage with the international community, we maintain our principles. We speak truth to power, even when it challenges diplomacy. We cannot compromise the message of liberation, justice, and dignity. Our mission is long, but every step forward brings us closer to the Africa envisioned by Sankara and our forebears. Our success is measured not by applause, but by the awakening and empowerment of our people. Comrades, the struggle is global. Imperialism does not rest, and local collaborators will always attempt to undermine progress. That is why we arm ourselves ideologically, politically, and morally. Leadership, like that of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, requires courage, vision, and commitment to the revolutionary cause. We must cultivate thousands, even millions, of leaders like him to ensure victory in our struggle. Only through education, strategic planning, and mobilization can Africa reclaim its rightful place in the world. We have seen the results of collaboration, both within and beyond our borders. Participants in our international gatherings from over 22 countries have engaged in dialogue, exchanged ideas, and forged alliances. From South Africa to Germany, Belgium, Benin, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, the United States, Ghana, Guadeloupe, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Italy, Mali, Martinique, Niger, the Democratic Republic of Congo, St. Lucia, Senegal, Togo, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Burkina Faso, these comrades exemplify the global solidarity of the African struggle. Figures like Nathalie Yam, Special Advisor to the President of Niger, and Guy Marius Sa, Senegalese deputy in ECOWAS, remind us that leadership and courage extend beyond borders. The Manifesto of African Youth for a New Pan-Africanism calls for radical awakening, unity, and action. Revolutions may attempt to be crushed, but ideas endure. We honor the legacies of Sankara, Kenyatta, Lumumba, and countless anonymous revolutionaries. We demand education that integrates African history, philosophy, and critical thought. We commit to networks of solidarity, leveraging technology to amplify voices and coordinate action. Institutions must be transparent, accountable, and serve the people. Governance must include youth proportionally, reflecting our demographic strength and potential. Education must liberate, science and technology must flourish alongside indigenous knowledge. Our youth must understand geopolitics, resist neocolonial economic traps, and defend African positions internationally. Our vision is clear: integrity, solidarity, creativity, and aspiration. By the next generation, we aim for a fully integrated African Union, free movement of people and goods, a common currency, youth-led businesses driving sustainable development, and a cultural renaissance that defines African identity worldwide. We vow to act, to build, to remember, to never forget. As Thomas Sankara said, let us dare to invent the future. Finally, our international guests have spent this past week with us, participating in the 38th commemoration of the assassination of Captain Thomas Sankara. Their presence is a testament to the enduring power of his legacy and the global commitment to African youth and liberation. Through events like the Thomas Sankara International African Crossroads Meeting and the FIPA International Pan-African Festival, we strengthen bridges between revolutionary movements, uniting democratic, progressive, and popular revolutions under a shared vision of justice, dignity, and freedom. Comrades, the path is clear, the struggle is urgent, and the mission is noble. Let us continue to educate, to mobilize, to unite. Let us embody the spirit of Sankara, Traore, and all who have fought for Africa's liberation. Let us act decisively to ensure that Africa rises, free, dignified, and united. May God bless you, protect you, and guide us all in this great endeavor.